Tubies. It's Psychic Bob. Well, here we are. It's Sunday night. And you know what that means? It's time for the witching hour. Ooh. I'm so glad you guys are here tonight. Well, I tell you, our crew's gathering. Lady Carol won't be with us tonight, but we got Lady Angela and Lord Tony. Lady Angela, you want to give a shout out to everybody? Say hi.
Hi, everybody. So glad you're here. So glad to be here. And let's all send out some prayers to Lady Carol. She's at the hospital with her husband, and we sure send some prayers to her. And I'm super excited for tonight's show. We're going to do a lot of cool stuff.
Absolutely. We got our buddy Lord Tony, our Lord Guardian of the Order of the Purple Cord. Hey, Lord Tony.
Hey, Lord Bob. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Should be a great one. And yeah, like Lady Carol said, let's give some prayers to, like Lady Angela said, let's give some prayers to Lady Carol's husband, who is pretty sick and could use all of our help.
Yes, I want to echo those sentiments. In fact, you know, I talked to Lady Carol just the other night, and she said, I can tell people what's going on. Her husband has leukemia.
Oh.
And he's not doing well. It's affecting his lungs and his breathing and his major organ systems. So they have put Lady Carol's husband into an induced coma to give his body rest, and he's on a ventilator to keep him breathing. Now, I'll tell you, as a psychic, I keep seeing him coming back to health. And I hope that all of you out there will hold that thought and put that energy up, because, you know, as they say, it ain't over till it's over. And poor Lady Carol's had a terrible scare, and I certainly understand it. But you know what? I think together, this is a great work for the Order of the Purple Cord. And Lord Tony, don't you think that working together, we can send some power to help all of this?
Actually, yeah, I do. With the whole family getting together like this, you know, the power is going to be all positive, and it should reach them both pretty good.
Absolutely. So yes, keep Lady Carol also in your prayers, and you know, we're gonna send out the best for all of them, because, you know, she's a valuable member of our order and just a wonderful person. Her husband is too. I've met all of her family, love them all. So tonight we're going to send out some energy. So tonight we'll dedicate this show that, you know, we're going to all make a commitment to send out positive energy. And if you want to ask a question tonight, we're going to have our chat. Lady Angela, I don't have my chat open, but I'll get that open in a minute here. But, you know, if you want to ask a question tonight, before you type your question, you need to just send out a thought of healing to Lady Carol and her husband. Okay, so Mr. and Miss Pettis, Lord and Lady Pettis are getting healing tonight from us.
Well, you know, followers of the old ways, Sage the Green offers a beautiful blessing I'd like to recite. She writes, Goddess of healing, let it begin. Healing the outside, healing within. Healing his spirit, healing his skin. Goddess of healing, let it begin. And I say, blessed be. What a beautiful chant. I'm going to say it again. Maybe if we all can maybe just close our eyes for just a second and I'll recite that's beautiful. Goddess of healing, let it begin. Healing the outside, healing within. Healing his spirit, healing his skin. Goddess of healing, let it begin. Blessed be. Thank you for that, followers of the old one, Sage the Green. I don't know about you guys, but I had chills. I still have chills. So I know we raised some good energy there, and that was a beautiful blessing. And thank you all for joining us in that. And may it reach him and help him through this.
So mote it be. Thank you for doing that. Ladies, I'm going to try to turn down my light. I'm having some weird stuff going on my studio lights here. They're getting brighter, and they've been going bright and dim all day. Now they're so bright I can't see anything.
It looks like you're about to get a tan from them.
I'm telling you. Let's see if I can adjust. I don't know what's going on. I'm having
we got a lot of people in our chat tonight, Lord Bob. We got Kathy Private, got Melanie Miller, we got Montcalm Horror, got Amy Johnson. Shout out to her. She's celebrating 1 year as being an Order of the Purple Cord member. We got Euphoria. We got Christian Druid. Jada's here. B. LeClaire is here. Fairy Magic's here.
Yay. There's Shauna Yakub's here. Hi, Shauna. Good to see you, darling. I'm so glad you came back.
Yep. Mad Magician's here. I'm pretty sure we'll see Gab in the chat pretty soon, and Mama Bird as well. We got a lot of new Shauna's here tonight. Hi, Shauna.
Amy Johnson's here. Hey, Amy. Oh,
Yeah.
Vamp Girl's here. She was here last week. Hey, Vamp
Jennifer
Girl.
Croxton's here. Horror Beauty Effects is here. We're so happy to see you all here. You know, this show is just as much a part of y'all as it is us. And we really look forward to these videos and interacting with you here live, you know, and talk about the subjects you want to talk about. Speaking of subjects we may want to talk about, I got some show and tell.
Oh, that's good.
I'll start off first off. I recently purchased one of Lady Carol's wands from her. And I love this wand. This is here it is. It's a beautiful angel themed wand. She hand makes these with these cherubs around it. Now this one came like unfinished, so I didn't know if I'd like painting it myself or not. So I went to Walmart and I was excited about getting some like metallic paints. See the beautiful copper wire? I like the one where she winds the wire down them, because for me, the crystal at the end and your hand, it draws your energy from your hand. The copper wire draws that out and through the tip to direct energy when you're working your practice, when you're doing your magic. And I really love that she has the copper wrapped around these and then more little cherubs. Now, I had requested one of the unfinished ones, wanting to paint it, and I didn't know how awesome that would be, you know, when I first got it. But I got to go to Walmart and I was picking out these metallic, beautiful, like, since it's angel themed, I picked out angel colored paints. And I got some neat ones like amethyst and a blue one. And this one was a pearl white. So I thought I'd do pearl white first on it. And when it dried, it just looked amazing. So this is what I've decided to keep. See how she inlays stones in it? And what I like, and I didn't expect, was now that it's dried and I've painted it and put some of myself into it, I feel like I made that wand, you know, I've connected with it in a way that was surprising and good, because I didn't expect it. Here's another one I bought from Lady Carol that I love. I got this one a while back and she used that same wrapping technique that she knows I love.
Can you pull back from the camera so you can look at her?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and if you want, she'll put a crystal in the end. She does all different ones, but that was a show and tell I wanted to show, was this amazing wand. And I got that from Lady Carol. And she's at ladycarols.wandsandmore@gmail.com.
That's right. And you know, I love her wands. I think she's so talented. And she's got some listed over on eBay. So
Right.
you can check that out. But if you don't see it over there, send her an email, you know.
Right.
Because Lady Carol, I tell you, even though her husband's down, you know what? She's still answering her emails and respond to people. So, you know, send her some, you know, you can write her and tell her you're with her too, you know.
Absolutely. I went to, you know, I love this crystal store that's here in a town nearby. It's called Colorado Crystal Curio. But I go in there and I get my special crystals. And so I went in there and me and her, we got a little arrangement. I'll put some of my books, shadows that I make in her store. And, you know, it's like a consignment thing. And I went in and some of the things I had given her had sold. So I got to bring home crystals. So here's one I got. This is beautiful. This is a smoky quartz. And I love working with smoky quartz and having it because it's a wonderful grounding stone. It's known to help you relax and reconnect and to gain your composure. It's just a great grounding stone to have. Lord Tony and Lord Bob, have you guys worked with smoky quartz before?
Oh, yeah.
I have a really small one. I haven't used it in a long time, though.
Right. I love it.
I love smoky quartz. I have one that was given to me as a house blessing that I keep in my bedroom and my window of my bedroom.
Right.
It's a very protective stone. I love it, you know.
Right. I love it too. And look at this here. I found this on Amazon. It's awesome. I've had my eye on it for a while and I finally got it. It's this angel and she's kneeling down and looking up and praying. And I have that on one of my altars and I just really love that. I love having angel images and angel things around to tap into that energy. And it just reminds us that we're blessed and loved by divine power. And it draws that energy to you. Lord Tony, Lord Bob, I'm sure you guys love angels too, right?
Oh, I do. Yeah. You know, they've got me out of more scrapes than I care to remind myself.
Right.
I'll tell you real funny. Well, not funny. It's a serious story, but real quick, I'll shorten it down, but I was in a car accident like 20 some years ago. And this is no lie. When I was driving the car and I was making a left-hand turn, I didn't see a car. It was speeding and it hit me full on.
Oh my God.
During the point of impact, no joke, a man, I was driving the car by myself, a man all in white was sitting in my passenger seat suddenly. And he leaned across me and shielded my body. And when the steering column, I got hit with, I got hit broadside and then I got hit head on because I flipped across the yellow line. So I double impact. And the steering column should have crushed my chest and killed me. But when they pried me out of the car, it's like the steering wheel went through me but never touched me. And they can't figure out how that happened. And I had no bruises or injuries. But that was the angel. And I remember telling the police, I said, oh, thank God for that man. They're like, what? There's no person in the car. So they're running back to the car because I thought maybe somebody, because the car literally mangled like a crushed tin can. And I said, no, it's the angel. And they're like, oh, there, you're just imagining things. But I was not imagining things when that angel was there. I'm telling you, he saved my life.
Oh, thank the gods for that. Wow.
Yeah, there are a lot of spirit people that come and help us, Absolutely.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah. And you know what the funny part, you know what the angel looked like? This is the funny part. He was a big, burly man with muscles. And he was bronze color. He looked like, do you remember, you may not remember, back in the 70s, there was a character on television called Mr. Clean. He was like with bathroom cleaner stuff.
Yep.
His angel looked like Mr. Clean. He was literally bald, bronze, dressed all in white, big bulky guy. And I thought, what is Mr. Clean doing here? But it wasn't Mr. Clean, it was an angel.
Wow.
That's what he looked like.
God.
Now, let me tell you why I know that was a real visitation, because I would never have thought of an angel to look like that. I was picturing them with big wings and flowing hair. And this guy looked like your local bouncer, but dressed all in white. But he was an angel.
Oh, that's fascinating. Jada B says, Lord Bob, could you please speak on the Irish god Dagda sometime? Thanks.
Yeah, Dagda, well, we'll probably have to do a whole video on that because he's a Celtic god. I'm not really an expert on some of those Celtic gods, so I'll probably have to research it, to be honest with you. But he is like the kind of like the All-Father in many ways in the Celtic pantheon. The mother goddess is known as Anu, or sometimes called Anna, or but Anu is the mother, Dagda is the father, and they call the descendants, all the gods that descend from that, the Tuatha De Danann, which also include the Fae people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Dagda, you could think of him in terms of the equivalent. He's kind of like Zeus would be in the Roman pantheon, or he'd be like
a father god.
Like a father god, yeah, basically. Whatever religion has father god, he's the father god of the Celtic peoples.
Interesting. Shauna says that Dagda is Bridget's father. That's interesting.
That's interesting. I think that is accurate. Yes, I'd forgotten that. Thank you for reminding me.
That's awesome.
There's so many gods, it's hard to keep them straight.
Lots of people are saying, thank the gods and thank your angels that you're here. And I got to agree with that because, Bob, you're such an asset. I mean, to YouTube, and you help so many people, with what you do, whether it's on your broadcast, which help millions, as well as your readings, which help uncountable numbers as well. It's surely a blessing to all of us and a service that you do using your gifts.
Thank you so much. I get up every day, and let me tell you, I've come close to death several times in my life. Don't worry, I'm okay. But I'll tell you, it makes you, when you really come close to death, and in fact, I was talking about this with Lady Carol the other day. I said, it really makes you start to value every day. I don't waste a single day. And Lady Angela and Lord, this, every day I do some sort of spiritual work. I don't just slack off and say, oh, I'll just show up and do something today. No, every day I do something spiritual. You may not always see it on YouTube, but I spend time in prayer, meditation. I pray for people. I read all my mail. All the people who write me letters, I pray for all of them. And then I try to connect with people through YouTube and through other social media and television. And that's one of the reasons I came back. Because when I had my near-death experience, which I'm not going to talk about tonight because that's too intense,
Right.
I'll just say that I got the choice to come back, and I chose, and I'm not wasting my time.
Oh, that's so amazing. We're so thankful. Texas Treasure has a very interesting question here. They say, I'm not really sure how to ask this question, but what I would like to know is when someone donates an organ to another person, how does that affect your spirit? Does it leave part of your energy there? That's a great question.
That's a very good question. In fact, I can address that. The answer is actually many times yes. Now, the thing that affects that more or less is also the sensitivity of the person getting the organ. Because our life organ, like let's say you give a kidney to somebody, okay? Well, your life essence is in that kidney, and they receive your essence. And some people who get organ transplants, now I've seen this is actually documented, you can research this. They actually started to have changes in their life. Like I saw a documentary where a guy gave a kidney to another guy. And the guy that got the kidney had been, he never ate chicken in his life. He did not like chicken as a child, but he started eating chicken. Now, don't PETA people get upset with me over this. This is just what happened, okay? But he woke up, literally started having cravings for food he had never eaten. And he started describing this food to his wife. He says, I want to eat this, I want to eat that. She said, that's where you've never eaten food like that. And the wife said to him, well, it sounds like, what they call down in the South, soul food. Soul food is a traditional African-American kind of diet, is like, a lot of African Americans eat. It's a traditional diet from, they have certain foods. Well, anyways, I can't remember all the foods were, but chicken was one of the foods in this soul food. And they went and researched the guy who had given the kidney. He had somehow been an anonymous donor, but he's still alive. And they found out he was an African American man. And they asked him, said, what's your favorite? He said, oh, I love my favorite. He named off all these. It's the same foods the husband that got the kidney started craving.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That is
so
interesting.
There's an energy exchange there. Yeah. So what happens? Yes. Now, not everybody has that, but it does happen more often than not.
Oh, how funny. And many people in the chat have also been commenting as you were saying that they had read about the cravings being the same. Followers of the Old Ways, Sage the Green asks, they say, Lord Bob, do you have an Instagram? Can you let everybody know how to reach you on Instagram?
Actually, I do, but I haven't done it in so long. I've got to reactivate it. So I'll let you guys know, because that's actually on my list of things to do this month, is to get that going again. So I think over there, I'm just Psychic Bob. I think it's what it is, Psychic Bob on Instagram, at Instagram, Psychic Bob.
Gotcha.
But let me check that. I don't have it in front of me right now.
Gotcha.
Good question.
Texas Treasure says that my mom just had to have 5 pints of blood, so it made them think of that. And thank you for answering that question.
Yeah, blood can do that as well, too, if you get enough quantity. See, what's interesting in the ancient scriptures of the world, many of the ancient scriptures say that blood carries life force with it. And I think that's very true.
Speaking of life force, some crystals have life force, I told you I went to the crystal shop, but when I first went into this shop about 6 months ago, I saw this crystal on the shelf and I wanted it. It was supposed to be for me, but it was, I had to work a deal with the gal, but finally I got to bring it home. But check out this large labradorite.
I have never seen that.
It is so amazing. This is another one I got from her before, and the play on colors is unreal. It's just gorgeous. And labradorite, I wrote some notes down here, just tell everybody some reasons why I love labradorite. It's one of the most powerful protective stones. It creates a shielding aura. The lights within are said to project an aura around you that shields you, and it protects against all forms of negativity or just the misfortunes of this world. It's a wonderful protective stone, very, very strong with that inner light that it projects. That's a shielding mechanism of protection. And it also enhances magic and can represent the element air, which I'm a Libra, so I'm an air sign. And so I'm naturally drawn to that crystal. Also, is known to project and enhance your own inner powers, your psychic powers, your magic powers, your intuition. It just amplifies you. It makes you the best you can be, and your abilities are all heightened. So it protects you and it empowers you. So that's, I just love. If I was a crystal, I would be a labradorite.
You are well on your way to becoming as bad as me with crystals.
Oh, I know it. I got so many.
Remember my Lemurian crystal I got? It's like that big.
I remember your emerald.
Yeah, my Lemurian emerald.
Yeah,
so you're going to be up to that level very soon.
Right. This was pretty dang heavy.
And then labradorite comes along that's that big, you'll be owning that too.
Oh, I know it. Or selenite, I'll be all over that.
Do you agree with me? Is she on her way to her becoming a crystal addict?
Yeah, she's going to be putting down payments on that whole store.
Right.
She'll be calling us up one day, Lord, to say, I can't be at the show tonight because I'm buying the store. We got to finalize the contract.
Yeah.
I believe it. Oh my gosh. People are loving your gems, by the way.
I see that. I love it and very much enjoy it, and encourage you all to get a bit of labradorite for yourself, whether it's a wand or a palm stone or something you could sit on a shelf. Or I have several pieces of wrapped labradorite jewelry that I wear, and they're my favorite, and it comes in different colors. These ones show the blue, that's the blue side, which I love. This one shows a bit more of that green and yellowy. See if I can show it in the camera.
Oh,
there it is, that green yellowy. Now there's another kind I love, and I don't have a piece of it, but I'm always drooling when I see it. And I saw it at the shop, but I didn't get it. But it's more of like an amber honey reflection. And I love it as well. I just love them. Horror Beauty Effects has a great question for us. They ask, how can you tell if you're experiencing a dream with someone, with a guide, with a past loved one, or if you're just dreaming? How can you tell?
Yeah. Lady Angela, can you turn your volume down? I'm getting feedback.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's bouncing back. Thank you. That's a very good question. Usually what happens, if it's an actual visit from spirit, it will be so crystal clear that you will have no doubt. You just will like, oh my God, they were with me. And it's hard to explain that other than say once you experience it, you will always know. Lord Tony's done a lot of dream work, haven't you, Lord Tony? You know about that. Yeah,
definitely with like the spirit world or like the spirit guides. It seems so real. It's like you're actually there, and technically you really are, just not in your physical body. And it's an amazing feeling when you know that. And if it was like a family member, they would show up to you as themselves, probably looking a little bit younger. Because they like to do that. A little bit muscular or shapely, however they want to do it. It's up to them. And then just regular dreams, usually your regular dream just fades and disappears by the time you wake up, and unless you purposely try to remember it. But you'll remember bits and pieces maybe, but the real spirit type dreams you don't forget.
You told me something fascinating about some of your dreams you've had, Lord Bob, and I think a lot of people also experience these, where in your dreams you actually were like, you're sitting at a desk at school, and it was your guides were teaching you stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna step away, but tell us about that. That is an amazing story. I'll be right back.
Well, Go ahead. It's so interesting is when I was first starting, this was years ago as a psychic. I still occasionally have this sort of experience, but it used to be much more prominent. When I was literally developing my psychic abilities in training in the spiritualist church, I started having very vivid, it was so real, it's like not a dream. But I would be in a classroom in the spirit world, and I knew I was in the spirit world. I'd be sitting at a desk, and there was a teacher, and they would be teaching us stuff about how to work with our soul energy. And it was very detailed, like I was taking notes. I was fully into it. And one day I was in this classroom, and the teacher went over and he put me in front of a big rock. It was a big boulder, like the size of like a dining room table. And the teacher said, now I want you to move that rock. I said, I can't lift that. It's too heavy. He said, not with your body. He said, with your mind. I said, what?
Wow.
I said, over here in the spirit where all things come through the power of the mind. And in my astral trip there, I was able to levitate objects with my mind. Now, let me tell you why I know this is real, because when I came back from those experiences, I was also at the time doing seances, like private seances where people would come to my house and we'd sit around the table. And it was during that period that I felt that same energy flow through me and objects started to levitate. I had a Ouija board planchette that physically levitated. I also had a table that levitated off the ground. And that was partially my power and partially the spirit power. Because when the spirits do that, they work through a medium's energy. And because they had been building my power to do levitation, I actually got real levitations. I have people witness it.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Wow.
Christian Druid asked something that I know others have asked you this before. They say, Lord Bob was in my dream the other night teaching me healing and meditation. Now, I know you do spiritually pay visits to people in their dreams. I've heard this from several people. What is this phenomenon? What's going on here?
Well, it's just because I love to help people so much. Now, I have to be honest. I don't sit down at night and say, okay, I'm going to go visit Susan Smith tonight. Okay.
Right?
But I do, as part of my daily ritual, I do meditation. I do a lot of scrying work on my own because I love water scrying. And by the way, I have a beautiful, well, I can't show it to you now, it's got water and it's across the room, but I have a beautiful scrying bowl that I bought at Lady Angela's website. I highly recommend it. It's the Triple Goddess Scrying Bowl, and it's beautiful. But anyways, I use that every night when I meditate. And a lot of times what I'll do is before I go into my scrying, I'll say, Spirit, allow me to send out power and to connect with people wherever I can be. And I do that before I go to bed. And so I do scrying. So I'm already opening the channel, and then I go to bed after that. And I think that because I'm working with the spirit world, they kind of take advantage of that. And they help me to go out of my body and do stuff. I don't always remember, but I do have some mornings where I wake up and say, I was with somebody. I was talking. I was teaching. And I do have this vague knowledge of having been somewhere. I don't always remember. So I guess I actually do it. I don't know how I do it. I think it's that connection I build before bed.
That's awesome. And I think that you're on a spirit level, you're quite strong, Lord Bob. And when we seek out a guide, I know sometimes the guides will take a form that's familiar and trusted to us. And so they may adapt your look, and it helps us to connect with it. It's just awesome. It's such a trip. It's awesome.
Well, Lord Tony is the one who's awesome because
yes.
let me tell you about Lord Tony. Now, Lord Tony has a great, powerful healing connection. And one time back in the summer, y'all remember when I got the tick bite and I got neurotoxin poisoning? I was so deathly ill. I mean, I should have gone to the hospital. My family was like, go to the hospital. And I was being stubborn. I didn't go. I should have. But during the middle of it, I called Lord Tony. I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Lord Tony sent power to me. And I know what time he sent it because it literally woke me up. It was like 2:30 in the morning. And I was in bed. I just drifted off to sleep like probably an hour before. And I woke up at 2:30 in the morning and I felt this it was amazing. This peace came over and it healed me. And I called Lord Tony the next day. Well, actually, he sent me a text. Also, that's the other part. He sent me a text at that time, and I didn't see it on my phone because it was off. It was on mute. When I turned on my phone the next day, right at that hour and that specific time, 2:30 a.m., Tony sent me. He said, "I just been sending healing to you. I hope I hope you feel better." And the next morning, I was like, "Oh my God," because I knew it. I knew that it came from. I woke up and I could feel the power coming through my body.
Wow.
And I started to really heal much more quickly. So It was amazing.
My experience with Lord Tony's healing was similar too. I was sitting I had laryngitis. I was on the show on that time and I had no voice, very little voice, no voice. And it had been that way for about a week. I felt fine, but I had no voice. It was in my throat. I knew it was. Yeah, it was in my throat. But we had done our show on a Sunday and I had asked Lord Tony for a healing session. He said, sure. So what's it but maybe an hour or so later, and I'm sitting here and I'm watching Netflix and, you know, just relaxing, get ready to go to bed to go to work tomorrow. And I start feeling a tingling and a warmth of just a movement right in that area. And I knew he was working on me, and I just kind of leaned back, you know, and I stopped watching my show and just leaned back and let him do his stuff, you know. And I went to bed, and the next day my voice was so much better. It took 2 days to get completely healed, but I had no voice, and the next day I had a voice. So, and how do people get a hold of you, Lord Tony?
You can usually Google my website's name, which would be the Lightbringer's Angel, and it usually shows up right away. Or you can just reach down and visit underneath the video window there in the description and find my link right there. It's usually the easiest way to do it.
That's right. His healings are amazing. Amy Johnson asked us something on the topic of picking yourself out a witch name. Yeah. I've played with this in the past too. I settled on my own name, but she asked, would you recommend using a site to get a witch name or do it on your own? Have you guys played around with that at all before?
I have actually, and I may eventually take a name that I like. I don't want to say it here because it's so sacred and secret.
Right.
But I like that idea. Now, let me just say there are 2 ways to use a witch name. You could use it privately between you and your gods, or you can use it publicly. Either way. Neither way's better or worse. Just depends on what you want. But I don't know. I think they're both valid ways to do it. If you use a site and it gives you an answer that really works for you, then that's your answer. But if you do it and it gives you an answer, you're not feeling it, don't go with that just because some site gives it to you. You have to really feel it, because a lot of times the gods give you your name.
Right.
You know?
My name was actually given to me, and it was when I first learned how to do the healings, and I had a private instructor that was helping me out, and she called me Lightbringer. I was going by Hellion Dark Moon, but she called me Lightbringer, and she says, "You're a natural. You're things like that. You need to go by Lightbringer." So
wow,
that's I didn't know that. I love that.
That's awesome. Myself, I played around with those sites and reading in different. You know, I've read loads of books on the craft, and lots of them do talk about the subject of making yourself a witch name. A magical name, and like Lord Bob has said, sometimes it's a secret name that's something you inscribe in your book of shadows, and it's top secret. It's a connection between you and your deities, which is awesome. But I played around with some of that. Nothing really felt right, and so I tried some of those websites, which some were fun. You know, some would say something like, "Pick your favorite thing and your favorite animal," you know, and just different things, and it gives you different ideas and stuff. And there were some really fun ones, but nothing really felt like it was it. You know what I mean? And I've just always been Lady Angela. You know, it just has always stuck. Like that's who I was meant to be this time around type thing, and it's just stuck. It felt right. But I've played around with that, and I think it's fun. And if you find a name that fits for you, or you make one up that fits for you, then that's that. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's cool. Yeah. My problem is that people know me too well as Lord Bob, and it would be hard for them to get used to a new name, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Matt Burns asked a question. How does one know when to make a move in one's life? Matt, I've dealt with that a lot, and I tell you, when I start noticing that things start going bad, like just different things, like you just can't get a break, things are starting to crumble, or just the energy is getting stagnant, or just, you know, you're at that peak where now nothing's going to progress, and you can see the signs. And the longer you hang on and stay in that spot, the more stuff will crumble. And just, you know, if you don't make the move voluntarily when spirit wants you to, then spirit forces you to, and it's a whole lot rougher. You know, sometimes it's easier when you spot the signs of things just finally it reaches a peak and nothing's going to improve it, and things just start going. I've dealt with that several times in my life, and sometimes those moves are super hard to make. You know, we're very resistant to change like that. But sometimes when we take the leap, all the more blessings come to you.
I have to echo that. I think you're absolutely right. One of the things is when you're contemplating a major move, one of the things you can do is ask for your spirit guides to help give you a sign. You know, when I made a major, I left a corporate job to start my full-time psychic business. This was a very big move because I was leaving what was secure. I had a job. They actually loved me and said I could stay for life. I'd never have to worry about a job again. And they really meant that. And I walked away from that to start a psychic practice. A lot of people thought I lost my mind. They're like, you can't, you're not going to really make it. So I asked the spirit guides, I said, spirit guides, I really want to do this, but I'm scared because it's a big financial risk. Give me a sign. And I actually defined this. I was being really hard line. I said, I want to see a silver Mercedes because that was a sign of success for me. So I said, okay, you know, then I put it out the universe. The very day after I made that sign, that offer to spirit, I walked out of my office and a brand new silver Mercedes with 30-day tags pulled up in front of me. And a guy rolled down the window. He says, oh, is this for you, this car? Like he thought he was from the dealership, was delivering to somebody at the office. He said, oh, is this your car? Are you so-and-so? I said, no, that's not me. But it was a silver Mercedes, and the guy spoke to me. So I thought, well, that was really weird. So then I got on the bus, because at that time I was taking the bus home from work. And a car ran a red light and almost hit us. It was a different car, a silver Mercedes.
Wow.
Then now it gets better. Then I get home. I get to the bus stop was literally across from my condo. So the bus stops. I get out, and as I'm crossing the street, I notice that people are lined up to come out of the condo, like 5 or 6 cars. I'm like, what's going on? A car had broken down and blocked the exit to the building driveway. And guess what car was broken down? A silver Mercedes. And I had never seen silver Mercedes like that in our parking lot or near my work ever before. It was very distinct, top of the line. You know, the big 4-door sedans. And that 3 of them within like 2-hour period.
Wow.
Guess I got my message. So
yeah,
that's why I say make your spirit people part of also your movement. They will help you and they'll give you confirmation.
Right. And be willing to see the signs. You know what I mean? You gotta be willing to see the signs. Followers of the old ways, Sage the Green says something beautiful here. We were talking about magical names, and she says, no matter the name you go by, the gods call us all by the same name, my child. I like that a lot.
I agree. That's beautiful.
That's really touching.
Mine usually say you're adopted.
I think mine would say you'd be the ugly stepchild.
Oh, Shauna just pointed out we don't have Gav here tonight. I hope he's okay.
I just saw that. Yeah, I was going to say, I knew some people are missing tonight. He's definitely not here. Yeah, he's probably tired. You know, he stays up. It's like 1 a.m. in London now. Oh, you know what? It might be later. I don't think the British clock, anybody from Britain here tonight? I don't think the clocks moved forward yet in Britain. They don't do it on the same day we do.
Oh. So
right now, it's actually a different time. It's actually only midnight in London right now, like 12:30 instead of 1:30. So he might show up late and say,
probably 2:30, huh?
Well, we're an hour. Wait, we moved an hour forward. So right now, normally it would have been 7:39, and it would have been 12:39 in London, which our show starts at 8, which would be 1 in London time. So it's not quite 1 o'clock yet there. So he probably is not going to be. I forgot to talk about that. Yeah.
Wow.
Can I show you guys something? We were talking about treasures of crystals.
Yes.
This is one of my newest little gems I've got. Many of you remember I've been wearing, I don't have it on tonight, but I have a Navaratna bracelet. It's the 9 gems of the zodiac in Vedic astrology. Well, I got a new pendant, which is a pendant of the 9 gems.
Oh, how cool.
Isn't that cool? And the gems are, let's see, I'll tell you real quick. I see what they are. They're a pearl, a diamond, a blue, emerald, a yellow sapphire, a garnet, a blue sapphire, a coral, and a pearl, and a ruby.
Oh, wow.
See, can you see that? There they are. So that's my new pen. I gotta consecrate. It just came today, literally, and put it on a cord. I'm gonna be wearing it. So
that's awesome. Lord Tony has an awesome new trinket as well.
Yeah, I do. I suppose I can show it. Let me take it off. I can't get this over my head, but my head's too big. Hands too. Never mind. But we all talked about this last week, and it my pentacle of the sword, and I knew there was a better version of it out there, so I went ahead and looked for it, and I found it, and I purchased it. This is a stainless steel one, a lot more detail to it instead of the pewter one that looked like a bunch of pieces soldered together. So I'll be wearing this one from now on. I just got to get a different chain for it because 22 inches doesn't quite seem to be big enough to go over my head.
You should get a 30 or 36. My chains that I wear, Tony, just so you can see, they're 30 inches, and it gives me enough room to just drape them over.
Oh, yeah.
So 30 or 36 inch would be what you need.
That used to be my waist size.
19 years ago.
I emphasize used to be.
You know, I got to tell y'all something so interesting. I can't show it now, but I'll show it next week when I print it out. But one of my old friends from high school contacted me, and we've been playing kind of phone tag, trying to connect to each other. And he's found an old picture of me from high school when we used to hang out with the drama club.
Oh.
And it's so funny because we look like a bunch of 80s teenagers. I mean, we are really classic 80s with the clothes, the sunglasses. I mean, it's so hilarious. I'm going to have to show this on a video because it's. And you know what's really sad part is I used to have a perfect body. You can see I got the tapered waist. I mean, I was like, nicer looking than I realized. And I'm not saying that brag. It's just like, when you're young, you look good. And I thought, damn, I've aged. And I lost that body a long time ago.
You're still working it, Bob.
Well, I always say between facelifts and hair dye, I'll never age.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody tagged me earlier this week on there's that website called Classmates, and I posted a different picture on there, and then like a day later someone tagged me on a photo asking if this is me, and yeah, that's me. It was my 10th grade varsity track picture with the whole group. And I'm like, yeah, that's me with the sweatpants that are too short because they didn't have any in my size. So they looked like floods with my white running shoes on. And it looked pretty bad.
That's hilarious.
I love that. It's funny when you look back, it's like, wow, how many years go by and how much we changed. We don't even realize, It's interesting.
It's like, what was with that hair?
What's that?
And I was like, what was with that hair?
Well, Tony, you're from my generation. The 80s had their own unique style. It will never be seen again.
Right? Leg warmers. I had leg warmers and pigtails and.
Yeah, which is too bad because I thought the mullet was a cool look.
So did a lot of people.
In Oklahoma, they wear it, don't they, lady? I shouldn't pick on Oklahoma. Sorry, anybody here is from Oklahoma.
It's not nice.
It's just an inner joke between Lady Angela.
Right. Well, let's see. Do you guys got any more questions? We still got 15 minutes here. We'd love to see what you want to talk about.
Shauna Jacob just wrote, oh my God, say goodbye. I cannot wait to see that picture.
Right.
Y'all will laugh when you see it. It's pretty. I'm like looking like I'm trying to be an 80s hipster, and I'm actually kind of succeeding, but not really.
That's funny. Moonface says 80s style was awesome. And Kathy Private said, I like leg warmers. Now, I was a little bit younger than Bob, but Punky Brewster was the thing that all the girls in grade school wanted to look like. And so, yeah, one pants leg rolled up, the other one not. Leg warmers. It was weird stuff you would do in the 80s. It was fun. I grew up in the 80s too. It was fun.
You remember, yeah, Well, my first car in the 80s was, I thought I was hip. I had a 1977 Ford Pinto. That was my first car. That is not a cool car, by the way. For those of you who don't know, it's like a joke now that I would drive that, but that's what I had.
Yeah, you kick the rear bumper and they blow up.
Yeah, that's what they used to call it, Bob's Bomb Mobile. That's what they Bob's Bomb, because that right after when I got it in the 80s, they started recalling all them because the way the gas tank was designed, if you rear-ended a Pinto, it would literally explode. So people used to say to me, Bob, somebody came awful close to your car. Don't hit your brakes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Back in the day.
Moonfae asks, can we give her a protection spell? Someone keeps attacking her. Lord Bob, you have a wonderful pentagram protection spell that I think we all could use.
Well, yes, this is a very simple spell, but it works wonders. I use it all the time. And basically what you do is you take your projective hand, that's your hand you write with, and you put it out in front of you, and you visualize like a laser light coming out of your hand, and you literally trace the sign of a pentacle, okay, like that, and you visualize it in powerful light. Now, while you're doing that, you say the following. You say, here this pentacle I lay for blessing and protection by night and by day. So mote it be. Now you can do that as many times as you want, but you do that and you have to visualize and put energy into it. See that pentagram in flaming blue light or whatever protective color, purple, blue, doesn't matter what color you want. I use blue when I do it, like a vibrant electric blue. And I tell you can feel the hum. Or you can also do it in white light. That's also traditional. Doreen Valiente used to do a similar pentacle spell, but she used white light.
Mm-hmm.
So either any color, but if you do it, and you can do that around your house, you can do it around your body. I do it when I'm walking down the street and I see like gang members, I just start doing that. And I tell you, it clears the street. It does.
Wow. Christian Druid has asked a few times about our thoughts or feelings as far as the magnetic pole shifts. And I do believe that has happened before where the poles shifted. I think it happens every so often. And perhaps that's part of the reason why Atlantis is underwater. And perhaps even Egypt had water, but now it's desert. Certain areas that were above the ocean are now below the ocean. And I think personally that's a result of pole shifting. That's my thoughts on it. And there's more to it too, but just to barely skim the surface. Don't you guys think maybe that's why Atlantis is under, or maybe not?
Well, are we talking about pole dancing?
Pole shift, the Earth's pole shift.
Pole dancing.
I'm talking about pole dancing. I'm just kidding.
The Earth is moving under your feet there, Bob.
What's that, Teddy?
The Earth is moving under your feet there.
Ooh, girl, I tell you, she can pole dance any day. Ooh. All right. No, yeah, honestly, seriously.
That's your next birthday present.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on the Earth right now. And I think part of the issue around the pole shifts is not just the timing, but seriously, I think that mankind or the governments are doing activities that are inducing that, whether it's fracking or, poisoning the atmosphere with radiation. There's a lot of things going on that are offsetting the balance of Mother Earth's energy. So I do think it's happening. I think global warming's a sign of it. I think we're seeing a lot of things. So yeah. Lord Jay, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say anything, but I do think the pole shifts are going to happen. They happen like every 6,000 years, supposedly. And but no one really knows how destructive it's going to be. It could happen just gradually. And I've read things where they claim that it's going to be so abrupt that no one's going to survive it. And because 300 mile an hour wind changes and you're just going to get thrown about like a
100-mile tall waves. We've heard a lot of stuff about it. I do think it's a scientific phenomenon, and it is something that's happened before. And because it very well may be in the progress of happening and will happen again. who knows if it's in our lifetime or not, but it'll be a major thing for sure. So there is validity in that.
But they do think though that they've found Atlantis.
Oh,
but not at the bottom of the ocean. Over in, I want to say the upper northwest corner of Africa.
Oh,
There's a ring there. There's a set of rings. I can't remember what it's called, next to a mountain chain, where I think it's Aristotle. Could be wrong. Had talked about how Atlantis looked and how there's some weird cataclysmic event that happened that, they say it sunk underneath the water, but all the water left that area though too.
Oh, wow. Matt Burns says off Ireland.
Oh, okay. Maybe there's remnants. I mean, Atlantis was a big continent.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Could be in a few years. That's amazing. Well, I have said it for a long time, and people are going to prove me right in the end. But the Bermuda Triangle, okay? My spirit people have told me this. The reason why the Bermuda Triangle exists is that when Atlantis was in that area, there were time-space portals that the alien races used to cross the distances of galaxies. And when Atlantis sunk, nobody properly shut down those portals. And that's why weird stuff's happening down there. And I've been told that by my spirit people, and I believe it's true.
Oh, how interesting. And Gab just joined us tonight. Shout out to Gab.
Ask him what time it is. Gab, what time is it? We had a time shift in the United States. I think you guys are not yet into our time shift. Anyway,
he hasn't popped it up just yet. Yeah. Jennifer Croxton asks us, what makes Wicca so popular? Jennifer, what was a big appeal to me was that it enabled me to not only, it gave me my aha moment, the stuff that modern religion didn't answer, the things that they ducked and dodged and never addressed, but really it gives us a way to have influence in our lives over things that normally we wouldn't have influence over. We're able to, Bob, I'm lost for words, but maybe you can say that a little better. I lost my, but yeah.
Darling, it's called getting older.
Right.
No, Wicca, why it's so great is because Wicca gives us a chance to really connect to our higher powers and know that we're part of it. See, a lot of traditions tell people you're just a sinner, you're bad, you're disconnected from God, and nothing you do in this life will matter.
Right.
I think it's very disempowering to tell people that. Wicca says, you are a child of the universe. You are no less important than the trees and the stars, and you have a right to be here, and you're part of this great and cosmic whole. That's what Wicca teaches. And it says that you have power within you that is alive and living in connection to all that is. Now, these are things we can tell you, but Wicca requires you to step into its practice to discover that. I can sit and tell you this, but you have to walk the path to find out. So people say, well, what are the Wiccan mysteries? Well, there really are no true Wiccan mysteries except the ones that you discover. We don't have some secret book where we tell you stuff after you become initiated. We say if you walk the path, the wheel of the year. So all y'all need to have a wheel of the year in your house. Lady Angela, I think you sell a wheel of the year chart, don't you?
Yep, absolutely. Over at rarewiccaspells.com. Sure do.
You need to get one of those charts and put it up, and literally, and I really mean look at it every day, because you'll start to get a sense of how the energy shifts in the air. That's one of the mysteries. So when you talk about what makes Wicca great, Wicca gives you a chance to experience true spiritual power. Anyways, there's a lot more I can say, but hopefully that helps answer.
For Gab, he said that he didn't know about the time shift. He said, how late am I? So, I'm sorry, we're 6 minutes from being over. Poor guy.
Hey,
but
Gab.
You defined that beautifully, Lord Bob. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I got to ask Gab, are you guys having a time shift in Britain? I think it's going to come for you guys like a week after us. Anyway, tell me if you get this.
Gotcha. Well, tonight was exciting, guys. I enjoyed it. I have to show this Book of Shadows I just finished. You know, each person, I customize them so that you get to pick your color and a theme. Maybe certain animals or things resonate with you. And each book has a personality. And this time I got the honor and the pleasure of making a book for this person who wanted it orange. And I'd never made an orange book before. And they were really into dragonflies and some other things I won't go into. But I've made this, and it's really came out great. I wanted to show it. It's different than, it's orange, and I put dragonflies on it. And I thought it was really neat. You know, sometimes people think of a Book of Shadows as being dark and creepy or whatever. And this kind of shows how bright and lovely and happy. You know what I mean? I think no matter what color it is, it's bright and lovely. But this was really fun to make, you know, and I'd love the chance to make anybody watching a Book of Shadows. You can look me up at rarewiccaspells.com or shoot me a message on there, or check out, I have some flip through videos to give you ideas of what kind of a book you might want. And I'd love the honor to make one for you. And I got all kinds of other stuff over there too. I got herbs and books and tools and everything at rarewiccaspells.com.
That's right.
Little plug there. Sorry, guys.
No, I'm all for it, because let me tell you, I can't brag enough on that store. So many of my wonderful spiritual tools, like my scrying bowl, some of my crystals, different things I bought there over the years are there. And by the way, some of you said, Psychic Bob, can you teach us a little magic? Well, if you want to get some spell pages that Lady Angela said, I have a whole section of spells over there called Psychic Bob's Spirit Spells.
Yes,
and they'll help you do rituals to connect with aliens and with spirit guides and protection as well. So go there and look up Psychic Bob's Spirit Spells.
Heck, you got your own category on there.
Yeah, on the left side, yeah, there's a category, Psychic Bob Spells. You can find me there, you know. But I love it, I do. And, you know, Lady Angela, we always, you know, say that, you know, part of the spiritual journey is making yourself whole, however you do that. You know, one of the things that I do to help people be whole is I do readings for them. And, you know, I'm a professional, full-time professional psychic medium. And, you know, if you want to get on my schedule for a reading, you know, I always say a reading is an investment in yourself, you know, and I'd love to do that. Give me a call at my office number, 703-825-3929. And we'll get you on the schedule. I think I still have a few openings this week, don't I, Lady Angela?
Yep, sure do. There are a few in this upcoming week. We'd love to get you on the schedule, and you will not regret getting a reading with Psychic Bob. It's awesome. He goes over everything with you. He tells you about your karma, or I mean about your, he'll tell you about that too, but he tells you about your chakras. He tells you about your spirit people. He tells you about your life path and your life purpose in this life. He tells you about your questions you have all throughout. He'll answer those. Your spirit people, and they're not always just from this life too. It could be spirit people from your past lives that'll step forward, and he not only describes them to you, but he'll tell you their message, and you're able to ask them questions, and he'll tell you their answers. And every reading is different and suited to that person, but as a general idea, that's what he goes over, and it's awesome. I mean, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna be like, wow, aha. I mean, you go through all these things, you will not regret it. Psychicbob.com. Give them a go.
Thank you so much. I forgot my website, www.psychicbob.com. You know, as I said, we're here to help you on your journey. And Lord Tony also is a great and powerful mystic. He's a healer. He talks to the angelic realm. Lord Tony, why don't you tell them about your services and how they can connect with you as well?
Yeah, I do angelic distance energy healing. They work through me, and we transmute the energy to you to help heal and fix whatever is ailing you, and energy blockages, headaches. You know, I've had lots of new experiences lately with some of these new healings, and every one of them is different, but I haven't had a bad result, and I've had nothing but good reviews from it. So work by donations. So if you like it, feel free to give me something. If not, well, it doesn't really matter. You're out nothing. Just you got your healing anyway. Yeah, you can reach me at by Googling Lightbringer's Angel, or visiting the description below the video and clicking on my link down there.
You know,
Thank you.
although Lord Tony does for donations, I got to say, there has to be a balance. You know, whenever you receive a blessing, you give a blessing. And it takes from Tony's energy, you know, to do this for you. And he does out of the goodness of his heart. And so when you get a healing from him, go ahead and give him something for that. You know, send him a little bit of money to thank him and to also balance the scales on this great healing you've gotten. And so it's giving back as well. Something he helped you, that's something that helps him. You know, so keep that in mind as well.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, Lord Tony is worth, well, if I had platinum, I'd give him every platinum bar I owned. You know, he's really great. And so check him out. Check us all out. You know, you got some time, you want to work on your spiritual life, visit our sites, you know, learn about what we do, learn how to be part of it and grow yourself. You know, we're not here just to pontificate. We're here to help you get active in the craft.
Right.
You know, also, if you want to join the Order of the Purple Cord, you can reach over at my website. I got a link there and it tells all about the order, or visit Lady Angela's site and Lord Tony's. We all have connections about the Order of the Purple Cord. And so I'm not going to go into that now. It's late, but you can go read about it. But join us. It's free to join and you can read about it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, guys, I tell you, I don't know where the hour flies. It's just crazy. Oh, there's my little mouse. Just go, hello, Squashy. You sit down. He just come in and started looking at me. I have a pet mouse. Anyways, we love you. We love you for being here. Thank you for being here. Make sure to be here tomorrow, because what do we got going on tomorrow at Spirit Channel, Lady Angela?
Horoscopes.
Yeah, that's right. Horoscopes. We're going to talk a little bit more tomorrow at the horoscope hour about the Navaratna Pendanagat. We're going to look at all the major transits of the week, and I'm going to do individual horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs. So you don't want to miss it. Be here tomorrow. We're going to have that, okay? Well, guys, thank you for being here. Remember tonight, send out prayers to Lady Carol and her husband, and let's send healing to him who's in the hospital, and remember them, okay? Thank you for all your prayers, all your support. I love you. Connect with me as well, and I look forward to being back here with you tomorrow. You guys rest. I love you. Blessed be. Thank you. Good night.